This is CBC News Tonight, CBC Television, inspiring tomorrow. Hello, good evening. I am Jimmy Kanasha. Now we look at the headlines. NDC'S Mubita Nawa and Anthony Bwalya arrested on a case of forgery. And parents raise concern over the reopening of schools amidst the rising number of COVID-19 cases. And NDC's KAKUNTA says that KAMBWILI is not leaving the party to join PF. And now the news in detail. Police in Lusaka have arrested Mr. Anthony Bwalya and Mubita Nawa at a Woodlands police station. Police spokesperson Esther Matakatongo disclosed to CBC News that the duo have been charged with fraud and theft. And in October 2020, police issued a warning caution statement on theft and fraud charges against the duo after the two appeared on Movie TV and Assignments, which is an assignments program, and produced a large stack of nation registration cards that they claimed were irregularly issued. And police began investigating the matter and summoned the two to establish how the duo came into possession of secure national documents only issued to individual citizens.
Police in Lusaka have arrested Mubita Christopher Nawa of Ballaston Park, Lusaka West, and Anthony Bwalya, age 39, of Mbawa Ngwerere Avenue in Charleston, for the offences of forgery, contrary to Section 342 of the Penal Code, Chapter 7 of the Laws of Zambia, theft, contrary to Section 272 of the Penal Code, Chapter 7 of the Laws of Zambia, and giving false information, contrary to Section 13, subsection C, of the National Registration Act. They are currently detained in police custody, yet to be charged with the subject offences, and detailed information will be given to members of the public at an appropriate time.
Now, the Patriotic Front National Youth Chairman, Kelvin Sampa, has cautioned the youth to use necessary procedures when airing out their grievances. Mr. Sampa has also condemned the abuse of social media by propagating falsehoods.
I want to bring this to the attention of the nation, that our youth in the PF party must start respecting each other, must start respecting the leadership of the party. If you're going to be used by any other leader to start mudslinging the leadership that has been appointed, elected, then you don't belong to the PF at all. We are in an election year, that very much I'm aware, and we should not take in-house things to social media or the public. There are procedures to be followed if any party member is aggrieved. What is happening of late, I've been ignoring, but I think it's high time I start telling the people out there that whatever you say will never shake me, because all what is happening is just lies that have been peddled out there, lies that have been told to the public out there, but we are embarrassing ourselves as a party to have such type of people that go round insinuating and bring false alarm and false information to the public.
Now, the reopening of schools amidst the COVID-19 pandemic has raised many questions amongst parents as to how safe all their children will be, with the high cases of COVID-19 being recorded on a daily basis. However, some parents in John Lane compound of Lusaka have a different view on the matter. Blessed Chihuahua has more details in this report.
The long-awaited reopening of schools has finally seen the light of the day. Schools which were closed due to high cases of COVID-19 have finally reopened. A check by CBC News crew to see how pupils have prepared to learn in Lusaka's John Lane compound shows how pupils are happy to be back in schools after quite some time.
So we are very happy.
kupasiwa mamimba kulwa muna kugaa vikopo.
Nipo tambela bwino kusegulira maskulu mwanji sembete nsangala vikopo na kunkana amai nipo tionga zikomo
Bwino kwenda school. Stenzo zia kutiza segulira. So tambela bwino president ashita bwino kutamwenda school. Otherwise, sebena ngwanga majanki na ngwanga na manimba.
And parents too are excited that their children are going back to school, as staying at home has negatively impacted their livelihood. Other parents spoken to urged government to be producing free face masks to all pupils if they are to win the fight against the COVID-19.
Tambela bwino mwanda na school pe basegulira mwanda kwezi bana batu mwanda basi bembotenga chema mimba cha blemu. So apatambira boa baina segula batufeke ko benzeli kuma face mask cha bana bonse.
Wena tumfa kuino abana kuisuira amaskulu because ababa kulwaba kuti bapula amafumo ababa lumendo nabenaba ubale bafya majanki mumushi so nga bali ako ku skulu awo chirifye kuno twamfa kuno sana twatemwa batututu nonotu awo twena tete tuli abantu tete tushiba ku chitakeya kuti twambula amalwere so but abakulu benaba tibaya beno but pakuya bale fala fya ama face masks
Tubano tuno mapepe class tete tuende ku school wawo. Koma fie alimbi abakulu bakubali bashikana nikani. Bali batara ku school limbi kayi mulando ama examination. Bati beka chinjo mulando ama nanikani. Ne beka chinjo.
Pupils have been urged to practice high levels of hygiene, as well as following the 5 golden rules of maintaining social distance, wearing a face mask, sanitizing, among others. Blessed Nawa Chwawa, CBC News.
And the founder of Cry of an Orphan Home, Teddy Kalimanshi, has thanked President Edgar Lungu for allowing the reopening of schools across the country today. The school reopening date was rescheduled due to a spike in coronavirus cases from January 18th to February 1st across the country. We have more in the story.
The reopening of schools across the country has been delayed by some weeks due to a surge in COVID-19 cases. Schools were initially expected to open on January 18th, but have opened today. Teddy Kalimanshi is founder of an orphan home, Cry of an Orphan School.
Yeah, today as the schools have opened, we are trying by all means so that all the children can be safe. Because as an organization, I'm trying by all means to provide the 750,000 masks in all the schools across the country that we have, especially the community schools that I run, but the orphans, so that at least even them they can be safe. As you know, COVID-19 this time is killing a lot of people globally. So as a nation, we recommend also the President of Zambia, His Excellency Dr. Lungu, to consider opening the schools for the children, which is a very good move. But as we go forward, we have to make sure all the schools, they've got masks, they've got sanitizers, they've got hand-washing soap for the children, and also teachers, they have to play a role.
Meanwhile, some parents feel it is early for schools to open.
So they are not safe.
And a school pupil in Lusaka said authorities are strict about COVID preventive compliance.
Manje vanesa na vale mabaski sio kukalipirani sio kama vile bonse bakamba kofichana.
Wakamba tizivara chena zetu.
Muzivara yozigulira mweka.
Bagulira hapa school.
Anthony Shafu reporting for CBC News, Lusaka.
Now, Zambia has in the last 24 hours recorded 825 COVID-19 cases out of 5,600 tests conducted today, and a total of 12 deaths have also been recorded. With these high cases of COVID-19, members of the public have been urged to up their game in fighting the pandemic. This is CBC News Tonight. We take our first set of commercials. We'll be right back with more stories, so do stay tuned.
When the time draws near for you to renew your DSTV subscription, you can now do so conveniently online wherever you are. With my DSTV app, just log into your account. Click the Pay Now button on your home screen. You will then see information on your current package, account details, total amount due, and total amount to pay. Select the Ting radio button and then click the Pay Now button. Now you just choose your preferred payment method and confirm your payment. And just like that, your favorite entertainment flows on undisturbed. You can pay by Visa card, mobile banking, Airtel Money, MTN Mobile Money, or Zamtel Makwacha. You can even pay by internet banking or USSD. However you manage your money, there's a convenient option for you. My DSTV, for your DSTV self-service on the go.
Let's take a moment to talk about money. Life can get a little pricey out there. The passing pleasure of a restaurant meal, a fleeting fast food feast, or those sports magazines you never really finish. But what if you got to watch the big game rather than read about it? And what if that lasted a lot longer? Well, with GoTV it can. Because with a whole range of different package options to choose from, you can get a whole month's worth of moments for both you and your family at a price you can afford.
You got it.
That's right. Only one. In exchange for hours of sport, lifestyle, international, local, and kids entertainment.
This is gonna be great.
GoTV. Live it, love it.
CBC News Tonight. We now continue with our stories as the new Labour Party president, Fresha Siwale, has charged that it is a government's responsibility to distribute free face masks to citizens on a daily basis rather than politicising the issue. Malangi Zombola has more in the story.
Country has continued recording cases of COVID-19, and this worries some political parties as not everyone can afford to buy face masks. A new Labour Party president, Fresha Siwale, says it is the government's responsibility to be distributing free face masks to citizens rather than politicizing the issue. Siwale disclosed that not only should the government focus on distributing free face masks to citizens, but should also try as much as possible in helping in the nutrition of citizens.
That we find ourselves, COVID-19 crisis. And because we've never been ready for any crisis, you will find that we don't even know what we're supposed to do, whether to shut down the economy or allow the pandemic to kill as many people as possible. Now, the first thing that government should have done was to provide free masks to every citizen, every day. Secondly, is to try as much as possible to help in the nutrition of citizens. Because you see, as long as people don't eat, their immunity levels go down. And COVID thrives on failure of human immunity.
Malangi Zombola, CBC News.
This is CBC News Tonight. And news just received. The Ministry of Health has urged the public to treat the story circulating in some sections of media, stating, quoting the Minister of Health, Honourable Dr. Jonas Chanda, as having issued a statement that government is consulting with other stakeholders to consider the use of anal swabs in the testing of COVID-19 as fake news. The government has a well-defined and established way of communicating policy statements, and the ministry has also requested the public to treat the statement as fake news. And this was issued in a statement by Amos Zulu, who's the Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Health. We now continue with our stories as the National Democratic Congress and Regional Coordinator in charge of Luapula, Northern and Muchinga provinces, Dr. Mbulo Paul KAKUNTA, has refuted the social media statements that are accusing Dr. KAMBWILI of going back to the Patriotic Front. And Dr. KAKUNTA says that the party is very intact and in the cordial alliance with the UPND is still going on strong.
National Democratic Congress Party, NDC, headed by Dr. KAMBWILI as the president. I want to refute claims by the enemies of our party as a National Democratic Congress and enemies of the alliance partner between NDC party and the UPND. People have been saying, no, Dr. KAMBWILI has gone to the Patriotic Front. Those are allegations and unfounded truths.
In other stories, the former Roman Catholic Archbishop of Lusaka, Telesphore Mpundu, has expressed concern at the prevailing tough economic environment for the common Zambian. Bishop Mpundu has alleged that those that surround the president are not giving him the true picture of the prevailing economic hardships for fear of losing their jobs. He says this has in turn made the president fail to put in place the adequate measures to tackle the economic hurdles.
I think it is in most cases what goes on. They don't want to give him the full truth. They want to tell the president what he wants to hear, what he's not going to be angry about. But if they are really very frank, immediately they are moved to another ministry as opposed to the Ministry of Finance and those people who make our economy tick. So the economic situation. It's very difficult to ask people who are driving cars, people who have jobs, who even during the corona time, they still have some money to spend on food, even on drink, to find out exactly what is going on. The state of our economy is to go to the grassroots, the common man and woman, how they are suffering. And you hear them saying, they are saying to me, but they shouldn't be saying to me as a church leader or as a senior citizen. They should be saying it to their father. No, this is too much. Every day it is suffering. To find food, to find a job, to find what. Every day it is suffering. That's what I found a young man saying at the Longacres shopping place.
Now, the Golden Party of Zambia President Jackson Silavwe has challenged the Patriotic Front government to show more political will to exercise the fight against corruption. He has also urged against the politicization of state institutions, which he says has contributed to the high corruption levels in the country. Political cadres from the ruling party, both inside and outside state institutions, call the shots on what goes or not and who gets promoted or not. Mr. Silavwe says that the Patriotic Front government must stop corruption for the benefit of all citizens. And here's a statement.
The shots, which is worrying in our country. We have heard reports how some cadres have been selling positions in some of the state institutions or parastatals, if you can qualify them. They would literally tell a person, if you want to be promoted, if you want to get this position, you have to give us this much. So if Zambia is going to see, if Zambia is serious about fighting corruption, there has to be strong political will from the president, from the government, that they mean business. Number two, there has to be a depoliticization of the government, of the state institutions and parastatals. Let them run independent and free from political interference. For example, as Golden Party of Zambia, we have been of the view that the AG, the Office of the Auditor General of Zambia, must be given prosecutorial powers for them to prosecute directly individuals that are found wanting in the audit reports. Because year in, year out, we are told of maladies, maladministration, what is happening in government, and yet people go scot-free. So strengthening of institution is key to ensuring that the fight against corruption is robust and that is going to benefit all Zambians. Corruption hurts the people of Zambia. It takes away resources that are supposed to go to projects that will benefit a lot of people. And so we are saying to the PF, can we stop this corruption? They have the instruments of power at their disposal to make sure that they stop corruption and let all the Zambian people enjoy the nation cake.
This is CBC News Tonight. Now, the civil society Scaling Up Nutrition, CSO's son, has asked for an update from the Minister of Agriculture concerning the theft investigations of the farming inputs, or rather known as FISP. The national coordinator, Matthews Muhuru, says that people of Zambia deserve to know what has been done to recover the following items. And the items lost were 3,000 bags of fertilizer in Luanshya, 950 bags in Mambwe District, Eastern Province, and 180 bags in Katete and Chigankata District in Southern Province. Mr. Muhuru says that they are saddened that government officials are involved in the theft. He further said silence by government will not help restore confidence in the Financial Input Support Program, FISP. Mr. Muhuru says that people behind this should be punished lest there be continued pilferage of inputs, thereby posing a danger to the food security of the nation.
Government to give an update on the actions that have been taken so far with regards to the stolen farming inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program. The country is currently facing some worsening situation as far as food security is concerned, with a population of about 6.9 million people, representing about 39% of the total population, are facing different categories of hunger as reviewed by the IPC report. And just in 2021, government plans to spend over 5 billion kwacha on the farmer input support program. But as long as prudence as well as just accountability remain very poor, then the country is headed for a worse off food security situation. So we are making a call on the Minister of Agriculture to give an update on what kind of actions they have taken with regards to the stolen farming inputs, as well as also to indicate what kind of measures they have put in place to ensure that the farming inputs are not stolen in the future, and especially with regards to the 5 billion kwacha that government plans to spend in 2021.
Over the weekend, the Zambia Police Service received a number of cases, such as that of assault and murder, and these cases were mostly recorded from the highly populated shanty compounds. Police on the Copperbelt in Ndola have arrested 2 females alleged to have indecently assaulted a female juvenile aged 17 and inserted a round bar in her private parts. And police in Lusaka have arrested 1 suspect and are looking for other suspects believed to be on the run in connection with the murder of Dennis Mutale and assault of 1 other person in an incident which occurred on 28th January 2021 at around 15 hours in Kanyama compound in Lusaka. And now in sports news, the Zambia national football team has been eliminated from the African Nations Champions CHAN tournament being staged in Cameroon. This came to light after the Chipolopolo were subjected to a 3-1 loss by defending champions in a quarter-finals match played on Sunday at the Reunification Stadium in Cameroon. And speaking during a post-match press conference on Sunday, the Chipolopolo coach Milutin Sredojevic, known as Coach Micho, says that the game between Morocco and Zambia reflected the state of the leagues in the two countries. Micho disclosed that some players have satisfied the standard to be part of the Chipolopolo Africa Cup of Nations qualifying squad that will face Algeria and Zimbabwe, while others have failed the test and will be excluded from the match round games. And he says that it was not his place to moan about the Burundi referee's decision in the match.
We have much more thought about ourselves. Our players gave the best. However, it is unacceptable in the first 10 minutes that we give away advantage in a red card in 2 goals. So exactly this occurred. From then on, we're picking the pieces, and when you are talking about third consecutive time, whatever good we have done, it is pure reflection of the local league. And you know that we have played against the team where just 2 teams, Vidad and Raja, have been in semi-finals of CAF Champions League and whatsoever. And this is pure reflection of their football. It's meaning that we need to raise the bar and work harder and be in the group stages of the Champions League, and then on the CHAN to expect beyond quarterfinal. On the other side, I really wanted to go all the way, but realistically speaking, despite stretching over all human and sport limits, I need to be sincere and to accept, despite players giving everything, unfortunately we couldn't reach beyond this stage, and this is a reality.
Well, that's all we had for you on CBC News tonight. Be sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on CBC Television. And don't forget, COVID-19 is still out there, so ensure that you wear your masks and make sure you wear them right. Don't put them under your chin, or don't leave your nose out or your mouth, but ensure to cover both your mouth and nose every time you wear it. I'm Jimmy Kanasha saying good night, God bless, keep watching CBC Television, and don't forget, mask on. Good night.